Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm Dave. It is today, I'm recording this on Bob Weir's birthday. So happy birthday, Bob. I don't know when this is going to air, sometime in the next couple of weeks, I think, or sooner. But I'm recording this on Bob's birthday. Happy birthday, Bob, and happy birthday, John Mayer. And happy birthday, Eric Eisner, Eric Eisner is a good friend who also is one of the producers of the Long Strange Trip documentary. So it's a big kind of birthday day in Grateful Dead history. Several good Grateful Dead shows on Bob's birthday, Amsterdam, 81, and Brendan Byrne, amongst others. And yeah, so, and John Mayer's birthday, God, 10/16/77. Yeah, you're 40. Welcome to the club. So John, 10/16/77, a fantastic show. So I always find it cool when people's birthdays were the dates of great shows. You know, Amir Bar-Lev, the director of Long Strange Trip, his birthday is 4/26/72, 100-year haul. I think it's 4/26, might be 4/24, Dusseldorf. But regardless, one of those two shows is Amir's birthday, the date he was born, outing him as his age too. So yeah, I have a birthday coming up in, well, I don't know, 3 weeks. That's also a date of a big Grateful Dead show, the day I was born, which I just found out was only 35 miles away from where I was born. So as I was being born, the Dead were playing 35 miles away. Really one of an extremely classic show. They played Dark Star, which is cool. And I was born at 8 at night. And so I was born during that show, I'm assuming. Maybe they're just about to come on. But I was 35 miles away, stayed over. But anyhow, I'm here to talk to you about Dave's Picks 2018 subscriptions. I can't believe we're going into our 7th year. So first of all, I want to thank you for supporting it, for continuing it. This is a long series. This has been going for a while, and there's really no end in sight. And this year, I believe we're doing 18,000. You can check. We did 12,000 the first year, which some people, I think, thought that might have been a bit low. But compared to the road trip series, which is what we were kind of basing those numbers on, it was actually a number that was quite a bit higher than the road trip series of how they were selling. So it was an informed number, but anyhow, we listened, and so we jacked it up the next year to 13,000 and then 14. And then in 2015, for the 50th anniversary, we went straight to 16.5 for 65 in there to get a 65. And we did the same thing in 2016 and 17, or maybe we did 15 in 2000. But yeah, regardless, we went to 16.5 for a couple of years, and then this year for 2018 we've decided to go up to 18,000, which means hopefully most people who want the Dave's Picks will be able to get them. So the way we do it, as you probably know, is right around now, as soon as this video airs, for the next couple of months, we're going to be selling the Dave's Picks subscriptions, which is, I don't know, like $100 or whatever it is. And you get the 4 Dave's Picks a year. You get them around first week of February, first week of May, first week of August, and first week of November every year. So they come to your mailbox automatically. You also get the bonus disc, which is going to be really cool. That's the one that's going to come with number 26, the one in May, which we're just beginning to work on, by the way. We've already picked and are already mastering and working on the package for number 25, the one that'll come in February. I'll get to that in a minute. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. I kind of hinted at this in my other video for Dave's Picks 24 just the other day. But that it's a mega show, kind of up there with Eugene 78, the one we just released this year. So the subscriptions, my voice is cracking. The subscriptions, you get the 4 releases, so you get 12 CDs plus the bonus, you get 13 CDs, and you don't have to worry about them selling out. And that's been the one thing that I think has been a big reason to subscribe, aside from it makes it a lot easier and you're guaranteed to get them. Here's what's been happening. So I've been doing 16,500 of each of the picks, of which a certain number of those, when they go on sale, are already spoken for through subscriptions. Quite a good number, I think. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's pretty good. So you have that already sold, and then when it goes on sale, there's not 16.5 left because subscriptions have taken up a bunch of those, or 18,000 this year. But there are quite a few, and they've been selling out. I know that Eugene 78 sold out in like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. But they generally do sell out in certainly less than 48 hours, 72 hours, generally less than 24 even. So by subscribing, first of all, we've increased the number a bit, so hopefully that will take care of a bit of that to avoid disappointment, but also it'll allow us to take more subscriptions. We do cut subscriptions off in January, I think in January. So you got a couple months to get on board with them. But I highly recommend, I subscribe, it's funny. I buy everything that we release. In that way, I mean, I have faith that what we do is great. I have faith that what we do is going to be something you like. But I also want to make sure that at least one of everything gets sold. And so I always buy, in fact, at the RFK box set, I bought 2. So I've got 2 of those coming, RFK 89 boxes. But I do subscribe to the Dave's Picks. I buy a couple subscriptions for gifts for people. Oh, a couple geese are landing. I don't know if you'll see them. Can you see that? I don't know if you saw them. 3. Cool. Canada geese. Bit of a misnomer. A lot of people call them Canadian geese. As their formal name, but their name is Canada geese. It's not Canadian geese. Something that you know. And so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the Dave's Picks. I subscribe. I'll order mine as soon as they go on sale when this video airs, and I usually get 2 or 3 for a couple of friends. Generally friends who kind of help out on the series. Look, I don't do this thing in a vacuum. I get a lot of input from people, sometimes different people. I got a couple main people that I do rely on for their input, people who are very objective, and their opinions are very well informed. They listen to a lot of music. You know who you are, and I do appreciate all the work you do to help me out, which is to say, when I start work on a pick, I then bring several ideas to a few people and see what they think, and then we kind of banter it about, and then I do a lot of listening, and you know, it takes months to pick. So it's the ones that I've been working on for number 25 and 26. 26 I'll tell you a bit about in a minute, yeah, I spend a lot of time listening, months, and then when I get it narrowed down to maybe the one show I want it to be or expect it to be, and then, or maybe 2 shows, I listen to that show or those 2 shows and go back and forth relentlessly, 2 or 3 times a day in their entirety, through different things, sometimes through like little cruddy speakers on a computer, sometimes through a stereo, sometimes in the car, sometimes with headphones, or sometimes I just spot check. Oh, I want to hear that version of Terrapin Station. I put that on. And I do that for weeks and weeks once it's been picked, just to be sure, so that when I pull the trigger, and the process for pulling the trigger, by the way, is first thing I do is I call up the tapes. I get the tapes sent from the vault in LA to Jeffrey, who then plays them to make sure that the tapes exist, and secondly, that they are in good shape. And so when Jeffrey gives the technical seal of approval, that's when we let all the folks at Rhino know that we're happy with it, and that we can head into the package design phase and all that kind of stuff. And we have to do track lists and budgets based on songwriters and all those kind of things. That's all the technical stuff, the behind the scenes stuff that gets going. We contact Santa Cruz, we talk to the photographers, we hire liner note writers sometimes. So that's kind of where the process goes. Where should I go to from here? Oh, how about I talk about number 25? So, look, I'm not necessarily prone to hyperbole, but I can get really excited about certain shows. So over the years, I'm just going to give you a bit of an example too. Of the last 4 picks, I think have been a series of classic shows. We started 2017 with the Boston Garden 73 show, a show that had been on my radar for years and years as possible release. It just never happened. Finally got that show done. The next one after that was the Felt Forum 71. It didn't have the other one, it didn't have the Dark Star, but it did have probably some of the best playing of the second half of 1971, the Keith era and the Keith Pig era. Kind of, it really felt like a Europe 72 show. And then we had the Eugene show from 78. I mean, there's a reason that one sold out in 4 hours. There's a reason that I think that our subscriptions are going to be very strong because of what we're starting 2018 with. But the Eugene show is a magnificent show by any criteria. I remember Mark Pincus, good friend, huge deadhead, guy knows his stuff, and he got when he got Dave's Picks 2023, he he emailed me immediately. He said about the first set. He hadn't even got to the second set. And I think he knew the show, but he didn't know that first set very well. And the Jack Straw he was raving about, and the entire first set, Tennessee Jed, but the Jack Straw in the first set, and comments like, is this the best Jack Straw ever? Is this? And that was kind of the universal acclaim of that one. And we followed that up with Berkeley Community Theater 72, the final night of the 4-night run, the night before Veneta. Or the show before Veneta on August 25th. So we had a good batch of variety, and then to round out our 2017 releases, of course, we had the Cornell box set with those 4 shows, and then we've got the RFK 89 box. So we had some good material come out this year, I think. We also did the 66 show for on vinyl for Record Store. So we had some good music coming out this year. And then, so we're going to start, drum roll please. I'm not trying to build it up. I'm really just trying to let you know that subscriptions are, I think, going to be very strong this year. We have increased the number of both what we're going to accept for subscriptions and also the overall number of releases to 18,000. But it's going to be, so we released, as you probably know, Rochester 77, 11/5/77 several years ago as a Dick's Picks. Then as a Dave's Picks, quite recently, we released 11/4/77, Colgate University, Hamilton, New York. And every time we've released one of those shows, the one thing people have said, and they've loved those shows, universal high acclaim, what people have said was, man, this is great, but what about Binghamton? What about Binghamton? Binghamton, finally, 11/6/77. Finally coming out. Again, it's one of those shows, I'm not going to apologize for it taking so long, it took what it took. These are tapes, obviously, that have recently come back to the vault. I can say with a fair degree of certainty, there's a garbage truck backing up, as you can probably stop. As you probably know, and I mean, I feel strongly about this. If this show had been in the vault for the last 20 years, I've been with the Dead now almost 19 years. Yeah, 18 and a half, 19 years. I'm fairly certain that this would have come out a long time ago. That's how great this show is. This show, that's why when I compare it to Eugene, which is only a few months, 2 months later, 2.5 months later, it's up there with that show in terms of the excellence of the show and how highly sought after it is and how unique it is and how many highlights there are. The highlights in this show are almost too many to name. It's similar to Eugene. The first set is magnificent. The half step, the music never stopped, the Duprees, everything in it. It's extremely high energy. It reminds me a lot of the very best parts of Colgate with the very best parts of Rochester. But there's something even, I don't want to say more unique about it, but there's something that's even more catchy, more, this is a mega show. This is, it's not Cornell, I don't think anything is, but it certainly is up there as a show that I've had in my tape collection forever, since 1988, 89 maybe, I don't know, a long time, 30 years, when I was a tape trader, back in the late 80s on cassette, so I've had it forever. One of those tapes you know like the back of your head because there's so many unique moments. Jeffrey Norman, he's mastering it right now. He sent me an email a couple days ago saying that he loves how emotionally invested Jerry is in the singing. Jerry's doing the extra fun enunciations and the extra fun power that he does with his vocals on a lot of the songs in the first set. And remember, a few months later, in early January, exactly 2 months later, Jerry lost his voice and played a couple shows, didn't sing anything. Bobby and Donna did the singing. And when he came back and was singing again, you can hear it in the Eugene show from January 22nd, but Jerry's voice for the rest of 78 was struggling. And then at the end of 78, it was gone again. I really feel by 80, 81, it was back to pure, clean, beautiful Jerry voice. But there was almost a whole year where his voice was hit and miss, 78. But here, it's still really good. It's still really clean and pure, and it's really outstanding. Now, the second set has a Rip and Samson and my favorite version of Sunrise ever, a really cool Scarlet Fire, kind of a low-key Scarlet Fire that's nuanced, and it's got so many cool things going for it. And then it's got an extremely big jam. What you all probably know kind of opens with the St. Steve, and there's a beautiful wharf rat in there as St. Stephen Reapers, and then it ends with Truckin' in what's widely considered one of, if not the most powerful and exciting and inspired and engaging and just overall just incredibly beautiful, powerful version of Truckin' to end the show, to end the second set. Now, Truckin', remember, had been gone from the repertoire for quite some time. It was gone for all of 76 and the first half of 77, came back in the fall of 77 with a couple of famous shows, or a famous show. As we know, that's when Truckin' came back. But it came back with a vengeance, and they didn't sing it often. And the interesting thing, remember, Phil by now had stopped singing. In 74, Phil stopped singing. When they came back, he wasn't singing anymore. 76, 77, he sings his heart out on this Truckin', which is very cool. I wish there was a picture of it. Bob Minkin shot some photos, so did Jim Anderson, of these shows. But there's nothing of Phil actually singing on the Truckin', which would have been cool. But nonetheless, with a rock and roll Chuck Berry encore, at this show. It is really, you know what, we're gonna do another one of these videos when we put this one on sale in January, I guess, assuming that subscriptions don't sell it out, which I don't think we'd let happen. I don't think we'll let subscriptions fill up and sell out. I think there'll be plenty, some left, clearly 1,500 more than last year when we do put it on sale individually. But anyhow, Binghamton 77, it's a monster show. We've contacted Bob Minkin about photos, and Bob was so excited. Bob shot this show. Bob was so excited. He said, "Finally, my favorite show is coming out on CD," which is great. And Bob, Bob saw a lot of good shows back in the day. And so number 26, about to pull the trigger on it. It is, I don't know what to say about this show. The one that's going to be 26. It is magnificent. I'm not going to throw out a bunch of adjectives. It is unlike anything else. The band is so in sync. There's a couple of songs in particular. I'm not even going to say what they are, so then you'll know that. And the reason I'm not revealing it is because it's not 100% set in stone. Jeffrey's too busy on Binghamton 77, 11/6/77 to have checked out the tapes. But we'll announce it soon. We'll announce it in December or January, the one that's going to be... but it's something that you probably haven't heard. And if you have, you probably haven't heard it in very good quality at all. And this is really good quality. Again, I'm virtually certain it's going to be. It's the one I'm focusing on. It's just a matter of Jeffrey checking out the tapes and saying yes. But it is terrific. And with that will come a bonus disc. So the number 26 is actually going to be a 4 CD set. It'll be the 3 CD set, which will be the show. And then the 4th CD, which will come with it, will get packaged in there, I think. No, definitely. It'll get packaged in with number 26, the one that comes in May. There's going to be something really cool, too. We always do something cool for the bonus disc. So a lot of really good stuff coming up in 2018. I have no idea what number 27 and 28 will be, the one that come out in August and comes out in August and November of 2018. But they're going to be good, I hope. I think they are. We've got we've got an amazing box set idea for 2018 as well. It's going to be, you know what? I do this every year. I'm like, how do we keep doing this? And you know how we keep doing this because the Dead have a great archive, and they recorded a lot of shows, and they played great so consistently for so many years. So for that, we're very grateful. Binghamton 77 is a Betty tape. We want to thank the team that returned all those tapes back home. So thanks for the collaboration, Rob and company, you know who you all are. And really a heartfelt thanks to everybody involved in that and all the archivists at Warner who have been taking care of those tapes. But really, to all of you, thank you for getting them back to us. The band appreciates it, Rhino does, I do for sure. But it's allowed us to do things like Eugene 78, Binghamton 77, Cornell, things like that. So anyhow, Dave's Picks 2018, subscribe, I highly recommend it. It's also a big price break if you get it now. I think I shouldn't say this because in case it's not true, but it's been in the past free shipping if you subscribe early enough. The early bird, which is going to last a few weeks, so check it out. I'm going to subscribe as soon as this goes on sale. Happy birthday, Bob and John. It's not when this is going to air, but I'm recording on that day. Again, I highly recommend it. We have an exciting year coming up. Binghamton 77, finally. The one that's probably going to be 26. Trust me, honestly, it's an incredible show. I've been listening to this show now for 6 or 8 months, quite relentlessly. tell you, it's one of the only shows that's on my my phone that I listen to all the time with headphones, on walks, on airplanes, whatever, and I can't get enough of it. I've listened to this show, without exaggerating, 30, 40 times, 50 times in the last 5 or 6 months, and I'm probably going to go listen to it again today or tomorrow, and I can't get enough of it. Thank you for listening. Dave's Picks 2018. Subscribe. Subscriptions will end, I think, in early January when we announce the number 26 show. And don't be disappointed, because when they go on sale, they will sell out. They'll go on sale in February, May, or January, April, July, and October to ship the next month. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. We're going into our 7th year next year. I can't believe it. We'll end the year with number 28 coming out, and then on to the 30s when we get to 2019. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you around.